Okay, well, speaking of formatting that we've been doing in the past, we have an ability, or at least a set of tools here to do some drawing. They're very basic drawing tools. We can draw circles and lines and arrows. We can put text boxes in, and they can be used, you know, to kind of highlight or to point out certain areas of your project. So let's start out with, let's say we want to put just a circle around this area right here to kind of point out whatever it is, right? So what we'll do is we'll go back into the Format tab, and then you'll see Drawing over here. So we click on the Drawing, and look at the wonderful wealth of tools we have here, huh? Circles and arcs and polygons and all that. So we're going to start out with just the oval here. So we'll click onto that, all right, and we're going to draw a circle. All right, so we'll take it about right here, drag it out, maybe something like that, and then we'll kind of move it in place there, maybe something just like that, right? All right, and once you've got that, I'll make it just a little bit bigger there. So just drag it like that. Okay. Now the problem is the current fill is just a white. It's just the automatic color. Now to fix this all up, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll double click it first of all, and then we'll go over here to the line and fill. And I think what we'll do is we're going to make the line, in other words, the line that makes up the circle there, we're going to make that, let's say, red. And we're going to make it just a little bit thicker than what it is. There it goes. Now, you'll notice on the fill, right now, it's set for custom, which just means in this case, it's white. If I were to go in there and even maybe think of going with let's say, pink or something like that, and then I hit OK, the problem is that it kind of covers the whole graphic. Now, some of you maybe have done some drawing in the past. You know that there's usually a tool that we can use to send objects kind of backwards, so we can maybe put it behind the Gantt bar. The problem, though, is that if you go back into drawing here, and we go with the bring forward or bring back and all that, that's just amongst the graphics that you've created. The graphic that makes up the Gantt is not part of that family. So even if we went in there and said, I want to move it, or I want to send it to the back, nothing happens. See? So what we have to do instead is tell it that we don't want any fill in here, right? So we'll just do a double click on it, and as far as the fill goes, we're just going to say none. All right, and then go ahead and hit OK, and there you go. And then you can take that and move it around a little bit more to get it fixed just right, but there it is. That'd be your first thing. Now the problem with the graphic right now is that it's not really, we have it placed here, but it's not going to stay there. Let me give you an idea. If I go back to, let's say, the first task here, and I make that thing, let's say, 9 days, right? Enter that in, the whole project moves, but guess what doesn't move? Yeah, the box, or the circle. So what happens is it kind of goes with the flow, right? So if it moves forward, or if the whole project kind of moves forward, it kind of stays positioned where it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit undo. That'll bring me back to the 3 days. Now, here's what we do instead. We'll point to the line, or to the circle here. We'll double click it, all right? And we're gonna go here to the size and position tab here, all right? Now, in this case, we don't want to attach it to the time scale. So that's what happened. It got stuck at 6:2. That's pretty much where it's positioned at. If I were to change that date, then it would move it. But I won't have to bother with that. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to tell it that we want it to be attached to the task. So we click on to attach the task. We hit OK, and now it'll fly off somewhere. That's OK. We're then going to move it back to where it's supposed to be, and that way it will permanently know that it needs to stay amongst what you see here. So now if I go back into here, and change this to 9 days again, it goes with it, for the most part. Now that probably wasn't the best thing to do. What we should have done is really just kind of focused on the fact that what we're really trying to have it circle around in this case, okay, let's say we go back here again. Well, really, our major focus is really this particular task here, okay? And that happens to be what? Task number, I can't tell here, I think number 5 or 6, is it? Nope, it'll be number 6. Okay, so task 6. That's what we need to kind of worry about there. Now, I've got this, okay, that's fine. All right, so what do we do? Well, we'll double click it again, all right, and we'll tell it that we want it to be at task number 6, all right? There we go. And it moves, all right? So we'll go right back. There's task 6 again, all right? Now, once we've done that, now if we go back here and change this back to, let's say, 3 days again, there we go there, right? Make this 9 days. There we go there. Make it, 13 days. There we go on that one, see? So it's kind of limited, but it does seem to move a little bit better by specifying a particular task, right? So now we'll go maybe further down the project, a little bit over here. And let's say over here we want to just point an arrow at this box right here, right? So we'll go back into format. There's our drawing, and there's our arrow. And what I'll do is I'll point it to, I'll kind of drag it from here to here. Boom, there's my arrow tip, right? Now I can move it around a little bit, get it where I want it there. Okay, so now it's kind of pointing at that box here. Now I can go ahead and double click it. I can make the line, so we'll go with blue this time. And we'll make it a little bit thicker, a lot thicker. Hit OK. There we go. Now, that's what it looks like. So, kind of goofy looking. Maybe we'll make the make it just a little bit less thick. We'll make that one there. That looks better. Okay. Now, while we're here, we'll go into the size and position. Now, what we're looking at here is it's kind of pointing at, we want it to continue to point at number 21. All right. So we'll go ahead here and we'll attach task to number 21. There we go. Hit OK. It'll move it. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of move it back. Kind of get it like right there. All right. So now, if later on, let's say this task here goes up a few days or whatever else, you could push it. And that in. It kind of moves along there for you. Now we'll do one final one here. Let's say we want to put a text box here, okay? So we'll go back up into drawing. We'll get our text box. We'll draw a little box like this. And we'll type in something like major task. And then we can go ahead and resize this. Now we don't really have a lot of, formatting tools here, so what we can maybe go and do is maybe take this box and just make it just a little bit narrower like that. Maybe go to the beginning of the text there, hit the space bar once, and then click away from it. That doesn't look too bad. And again, you can then take that and also maybe take a line or draw like a line or an arrow. I guess maybe we can do a line. And we can take that and kind of put it, somewhere on there and kind of point it at this one here. Kind of like that, instead of using an arrow. So we're going to make sure that they're both focused on task, I think 38 it is, right? Let's see here. There's task 38. So what we'll do is we'll double click this one first, and size and position, that's going to be on number 38, and we'll OK that, and we'll double click this one here. Oh, missed that one. There we go. And make that also on number 38. All right. There we go. Then what we can do is take this back, point it there, take this one here, oh, and put it about right there, and there we go. Okay. Now, later on, if anything changes, let's say up here, let's see, this changes to from 3 days to whatever here, we'll bring it up. Pushes it all over, pretty much stays in place there. So good little tool there. So hopefully this will help. I mean, it's not nothing major, but it's something at least you can kind of plug in there and have it stay positioned in. You can even do something like where you might do a you might have some sort of like a vertical line that represents a particular date, and in that one, you wouldn't want to move it. It'll stay stationed on that date. And then anything that goes beyond it, you'll know because you'll see the fact I went past that line or something. I don't know, kind of like a break-even kind of line, but not really break-even, but for anything else. But still, give you some ideas. I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.